talk about what to write about. All right, Brian. So some people say, find out what the trend is, what's really hot, and if it's Harry Potter, write about Harry Potter. And other people say, write what you love. And I think the third choice is write what you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess the biggest decision you have to make is, are you writing fiction or are you writing nonfiction? Because that makes a big difference too. If you're going to write nonfiction and you know nothing about dating, that's probably a bad topic, right?
Right.
Whereas if you love science fiction like I do and you want to write fiction, then probably romance is a bad idea. But
Yeah.
what do you tell aspiring authors when it comes to like I mean, we have this whole smorgasbord of the world. There's millions of topics. How do you narrow it down to something that's manageable?
Yeah. Sometimes the intersection of all of those things happens, and that's perfect for people. I tell people that if they are looking for the perfect topic for them, they need to pick number one, what they know about, number two, what their audience wants to know more about, and number three, what will their audience pay for? Because you want them to buy your book and you want them to do things with you after they've read your book. So the intersection of those three things, I think, is the perfect confluence of the thing you need to be writing about. I don't hear you.
Sorry, I muted myself. So yeah, so I never thought about the part of you want people to want to buy your book.
Mm-hmm.
So once you've just take us through that process then. Let's say come to you, I say, you know what, Brian, I really want to write a book, but I don't know what to do. What would we do?
Well, we explore a few different options. I ask them first if they want to write something based on their current career to promote the thing that they are doing professionally, or do they want to do something that's a little more personal and write their story, or do they want to be a combination of the two? Because I think that's really, really important. I had a client recently who said, I've got ideas for two books. I've got one for more general audience and one for more specific audience, like entrepreneurs. And I'm not sure which one to do first. And I said, which audience do you want to speak to first? And he concluded that he wanted to speak to the general audience first. I said, well, then that makes your decision really easy.
Right.
So that's the book we're doing first.
Cool. So now how do you lay out the book, right? So let's say I've decided I'm going to be writing about the general populace. So it's a personal development book, just to give you something to kind of work with, right? Like, so
Right.
It's my journey from being a schmuck to being a multi-billionaire and finding love along the way. So now where do I just say, I was born, 66 years ago and that's where I start in my book? Or how do you start designing that part?
Yeah. I think definitely there's a before and after sequence in this. That's the broad umbrella for something like that. So what is your background? What was it that you started with? What was your starting line? And where is your finish line? And what led you from here to there? I mean, basically you're proposing a problem and a solution. It's interesting. I liken this a little bit to a Shark Tank pitch. Let's just say that what you're doing is you're talking about the universal problem that needs to be met, and then you're talking about the solution to that problem, and then you're talking about why you are that solution, and then what needs to happen next.
Right.
So maybe that kind of a framework can help, but definitely setting up your expertise. Why are we listening to you? Why is it a problem? What is the solution? Why are you the one to provide that solution? And then you lay out the steps to make that happen.
Right.